Did you know that most African countries with gold reserves keep a significant portion, if not all, of their reserves outside their countries, often outside the continent? This practice isn't unique to Africa and isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a strategic economic and security measure used by countries worldwide to safeguard their gold wealth. For instance, countries like Germany, Italy, Switzerland, India, the Netherlands, Portugal, Austria, Poland, and Belgium store a significant percentage or all of their gold reserves abroad. Germany, for example, holds $80 billion of its gold reserves mainly in the USA, a decision made after World War II due to fears that the Soviet Union might seize Germany's gold reserves. Similarly, Italy keeps $67 billion of its gold reserves abroad, mostly in the US, which accounts for 51% of its total reserves. These decisions are primarily based on security and historical reasons. During World War II, many countries moved their gold to avoid theft. Governments placed their gold in different banks to ensure its safety. Another reason for storing gold abroad is the lack of adequate facilities for safe storage within the country. Transporting gold can be risky and very expensive, so countries often transfer ownership of some of their gold reserves to other governments while keeping the physical gold in secure facilities abroad. This strategy, which began during World War II, continued post-war. The United States houses one of the most secure gold storage facilities and currently holds the largest gold reserve in the world, totaling 8,113 tons, with about 90% of this gold owned by other countries. This indicates a strong trust in the United States' ability to safeguard these reserves. However, this trust seems to be waning as African countries, including South Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, and Egypt, along with nations from the Middle East, are deciding to repatriate their gold reserves from the United States. Gold repatriation refers to the process where governments bring home gold reserves stored abroad. In a significant shift towards economic sovereignty, several African countries are actively repatriating their gold reserves from foreign vaults. This movement reflects a broader trend among nations to assert control over their natural resources and reduce dependency on foreign financial institutions. Countries such as Ghana, Nigeria, and Tanzania are leading this charge, recognizing the strategic importance of holding their gold reserves within their own borders. By bringing back their gold, these nations aim to strengthen their financial stability, foster economic independence, and ensure that the wealth derived from their natural resources benefits their own economies directly. This trend is not only a statement of financial independence, but also a step towards reclaiming their economic destiny in a global landscape often dominated by external powers. The question arises, if the USA has been a safe haven for gold storage, why are these countries choosing to repatriate their gold now? For Ghana, repatriating its gold reserves from the United States is a proactive measure to safeguard its wealth. Economic experts suggest that Ghana's actions are timely amid rising global economic uncertainties and growing concerns about the stability of the U.S. financial system. According to Dr. Joseph Adamensa, an economist specializing in international finance, Ghana's move to withdraw its gold reserves from American vaults is a prudent step to mitigate risks and protect against potential economic volatility. Furthermore, recent geopolitical shifts and economic challenges have prompted countries to reassess their gold storage strategies. As countries seek to enhance their financial sovereignty and reduce dependency on foreign entities, repatriating gold reserves is becoming an essential aspect of their national economic strategies. This move towards greater control over national assets reflects a broader trend of asserting economic independence and resilience in an increasingly uncertain global landscape. For Nigeria, as reported by Media State Journal, the decision to ban gold exports is a reaction to growing concerns about the downturn of the U.S. economy. This move underscores Nigeria's determination to assert its sovereignty and pursue independence on the global stage. By taking control of its gold reserves, Nigeria aims to demonstrate its ability to manage its affairs without external interference. This decision reflects a broader trend among countries losing confidence in the stability of the American economy. Persistent inflation, rising debt levels, and doubts about the Federal Reserve's ability to maintain stable monetary policy have eroded trust in the US dollar. Coupled with geopolitical tensions and uncertainties surrounding trade relations, these factors have driven countries to take decisive actions to protect their interests. For African nations, safeguarding their gold reserves is not only economically prudent, but also strategically vital. Although the gold standard was abolished decades ago, countries still hold gold reserves as insurance against economic turmoil, currency depreciation, and geopolitical instability. By repatriating their gold reserves, these nations aim to shield themselves from potential financial crises and secure their wealth within their borders. The global context and the actions of the United States and other Western countries provide further motivation for these decisions. In 2022, the US froze all of Russia's reserves as a sanction for its invasion of Ukraine, signaling to the world that foreign reserves held in the US might not be safe. This action made many countries realize that if it could happen to Russia, it could happen to them. Since 2020, nations that typically stored their gold in Western countries, including the US, the UK, and France, have been repatriating their gold reserves. A 2023 report noted an increase in gold repatriation since the sanctions on Russia. Jonathan Ard, president and CEO of Dakota Gold Corp., observed a shift from west to east as countries now prefer to store their gold domestically to avoid potential confiscation due to foreign policy conflicts. The influence of BRICS, led by China and Russia, also plays a role in this trend. BRICS is promoting de-dollarization in a multipolar world, encouraging countries, especially in the global south, to use local currencies for international trade. Recently, China and Russia signed a trade agreement to conduct $260 billion worth of trade without using the US dollar. BRICS is also creating its own currency, likely to be backed by gold, as evidenced by their substantial gold purchases since 2023. This context explains why African countries, including Nigeria, are moving their gold back home. The question remains whether these countries will successfully reclaim their gold. The trend of gold repatriation is not new. European countries have been doing so since 2013. For instance, Germany's central bank announced plans in 2013 to repatriate 300 tons of gold from the US and 374 tons from France by 2020. The Netherlands, France, Belgium, and Austria have also made similar moves. In conclusion, the actions of Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso and other African leaders reflect a growing desire to reclaim sovereignty over their natural resources. This shift could lead to more equitable agreements that benefit their citizens, reducing dependency on foreign aid and fostering sustainable development. As the world watches, the long-term impact of these decisions on the global gold market and the economic progress of these countries will become evident over time. Austria plans to retain 50% of its gold reserves, valued at 7.5 billion euros, within the country. Similarly, Poland, Romania, and other nations have begun repatriating their gold. This raises the question of whether countries can retrieve their gold from the USA. In 2013, when Germany requested its gold, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York reportedly denied German officials even the chance to view the gold. This situation fueled suspicions and theories that the United States might have sold the gold, lent it out, or that the vaults were empty. Eventually, the US informed Germany that it would take 7 years to return their gold. By 2017, Germany announced that it had successfully retrieved half of its gold from the US. There are rumors that the delay in Germany receiving half of its gold was due to the US potentially having sold the gold bars years prior and needing time to repurchase them when Germany made its request. Whether this is true remains uncertain, but it's clear that the process of repatriating gold isn't as straightforward as one might think. The United States is likely to do everything possible to slow down this process, especially for several African nations. The trend of African countries repatriating their gold from foreign reserves signifies a significant shift towards reclaiming economic sovereignty and ensuring greater control over their own resources. By bringing their gold back home, these nations are not only securing their assets but also taking a strong stand against decades of foreign dependency and exploitation. This move is poised to bolster national economies, enhance financial stability, and support long-term sustainable development. As more African countries join this movement, it marks a crucial step towards a future where the continent's wealth is utilized for the benefit of its own people, fostering greater economic independence and resilience. Thanks for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell for more informative videos like this one.